Evening, people. Yes, not a bad day today. Not a bad day. Had a little bit of work out in the workshop. Yippee. Not a lot of progress as far as getting it moving along, but the storage units have taken the step forward in as much as I've put the edge banding on them. Now, I don't know where I am with the videos at the moment. I've made a few, and as you can kind of guess, I've deleted a few, so I don't know what I have and haven't covered, but there were, I don't know how many I've got there, 25, 26 shelves, and these parts of the cabinetry here, so there's quite a bit of edge banding, metre-wise, and I've got to say, I don't feel daunted by the idea of doing a lot of edge banding anymore because of the process. And it's probably where other people have got to when they've done a bit. They will get a process to which to follow and help them out. And again, I'll hark back to this vertical panel has gone a long way in that regard to helping out to make the job of all of those panels edging so much more efficient. That was probably the way of thinking of it, because having the ability to pop the panels on the different sizes onto the pins, clamp the board so it's holding itself, so you could do the edge banding was like quite different from what I've had experienced in the past, and especially so because there's virtually no wriggle room in the width of the edge banding that I've got. And being, okay, it was 19 millimeters, which is basically 3/4 inch, onto a panel which is slightly over 18 millimeters. So you'd only have a mil at the most, half a mil, no, not even half a mil. So, yeah, say quarter to a third of a mil each side of the panel. And yikes, it caught me a couple of times. Just the slipperiness of when the glue's heated up, the banding can actually dislocate sideways, and yeah, it's only one of them that I had to reheat and reposition, to be fair, but they're pretty close. The use of the heavy steel blade to trim the panels was, how would you say, that was probably just as beneficial as the panel itself, the supporting panel there. It was just the fact that you can run the heavy steel across, and it's keeping itself true to the surface. It's given a really good finish to the edge. Not always, depending upon the surface condition of the material, not always did it actually cut in the way I thought it would, but that's probably more to do with technique than actually the actual item itself. But yes, I will be seeing about getting them sharpened professionally, and yeah, I think I might. I was going to get the sharpening system that goes in the drill press, one with the disc that you can actually make up stands for it for the different angles, to be able to just come up underneath the disc that has the Cubitron, as I understand it, sanding discs, what are you, Velcroed or whatever, the hook and loop. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I was looking at, but the postage was as much to Christchurch here was as much as the flaming item itself, so I've held off getting it. But now thinking that might be the sacrifice I have to make to be able to use and sharpen the chisels and planes, etc. And it might mean I can sharpen this instead of having to send it away to get it professionally done, because if it can sharpen as well as I would hope, then the cost of the postage versus the cost of sending this away to get sharpened kind of like counter each other. And I've always got the sharpening system anyway forever thereafter to do all the other sharpening jobs. It is quite sharp, but as I recall, when I got this thing 25, 30 years ago, whenever it was, a long time ago, these were like, you just look at them and they'll cut you. Maybe I'm a little bit more cautious now. You can tell, when it grabs the fingerprint, the skin, you can kind of tell it's nice and sharp. But I did the old shave of the back of the arm by hand, and it didn't. So it's not as sharp as I would like it. So there's that. What else? I'll work out tomorrow a process for assembling them. It'll be in the same manner as everything else that I've got. It will be doweled heavily and screwed. No glue whatsoever. None of my cabinets are glued for good or bad outcome, but it's never been a problem. I'm going to have to now think about the back panel of the unit, and I'm contemplating not making a inserted panel or a light panel at all. I'm emphasising the considering, making it a solid 18mm. The reason for that is, if they are as mobile as I would like them to be, I may, just may, utilise that 18mm panel for mounting things on the back of the panel. Seldom used, but necessary items quite often can be placed on that in that sort of area. So long as it doesn't take up much depth, it might be a place for storing those seldom used items. That unit there has got a false back to it, and behind it is a shallow shelf, and that's got a lot of stuff in it. The problem with that is, generally, once you've put it in there, because of like now I've got stuff in front of it, leaning on it, and just the weight of that unit makes it less likely to be moved willingly, and the back of the unit is probably where you'd put things that will go there to die, sort of thing. So I'm reluctant to go down that path, but with the new workshop, which will come about at some stage, I'm not too certain just how much wall space I'll have to be able to put things in. So having something like that, even if I don't wind up using it, it might pay to have a heavy material for the back, the MDF for it. Kind of rubs me up the wrong way, because I know that when I mentioned before about that unit, how, like I said, things get put in the back of it to go to die, sort of thing. I'm not joking, because you go to grab something off it and it's got half an inch of dust on it or something. So, yeah, it doesn't get accessed very much. But now that this will be a smaller unit, smaller than that, bigger than that unit, it could conceivably be utilised a bit more. Yeah, I don't know. Really, to confirm that, I'd have to decide what I'd put up there. Again, it can't be too sticky-outy, otherwise it takes up space in itself. Yeah, I've got stuff behind this unit. No, you can't see it. No, it's tucked in down the back there. And I've got items like this that are used on the bench saw that don't get used a lot. But when they are needed, they need to be able to be picked up pretty quickly, otherwise it becomes inconvenient. So I'm just wondering whether... Yeah, I am a bit reluctant, thinking about it a bit more as I'm yakking to you, I am a little bit more reluctant to put stuff on the back of it. The other way of looking at it, you can put stuff on the back of it and the wall that it's backing up against, if you're going to do that. If I don't put a heavy panel in, the MDF type of panel, is that excluding the ability to use that for that purpose? I don't know. If I put a light panel on it, well, then that'll stop me from doing that sort of thing. So, which might be a good thing. Don't know. There's going to be 2 units, and each unit is made up of 2 identically. The carcass itself is identical. So there's 4 identical units. 2 of them together, that makes 1 storage unit. 2 of them together makes a second storage unit. So, as I say, it's a bit bigger than that, but smaller than that. I'm just thinking how much benefit for having the solid panels versus a light one. I've got the feeling I've got panels for it, or available, stored in the van at the moment. So that's not a problem. Now I've got a feeling I might just go for light back, which the reason I'm mulling it over is because if I go to do that, I need to consider modifying some of these panels. Maybe, actually, while we're thinking about that, that's actually a good point. These are about 480 something, about 482. What are the panels that I've got? What are the width? Well, that's not that one, because that is too small. That's only 400. What's that? Because these haven't actually been cut. Oh, that's over 500, so it's plenty wide enough to not have to, oh, that's a good idea, not have to cut the panels down at all. I can just make them up as a box and put the back on it flush with the ends of the cabinets itself, the panels themselves. So that would save me a little bit of mucking around. I'm going to have to mull that one over because it's a decision. Well, actually, I can mull it over the next couple of days, because even if I make these units up, I can always put a lighter or a heavier panel on at my discretion once I've decided. And besides which, because they are made up of 2 units, top and bottom, that are put on top of each other and screwed together, each of the panels that would be used only has to be the size of that individual box, as it were. So that is a little bit more convenient. Certainly a weight saving, because you put a 18mm back on it, it's going to make them quite beefy. Look, I will put that on the back burner, and that will be for consideration in a few days' time, I would suggest. Yep, back burner. Right, tomorrow, what I may well do, I've still got to sand the edges. I just like giving them a little bit of a sand, of the edge banding, because after they've been cut, they're not razor sharp, but they're square, and just taking the edge off is probably a jolly good idea, or a requirement. And do that. Can think about doing the mounting rail. Consider that. So that's a good thing. It means organising stuff over here to get the thicknesser out. Actually, that'll be quite an interesting exercise. Connecting up that to the extractor. I don't know whether I've done it yet since I've had it. Really looking forward to getting into a new workshop so I can rationalize putting that motor more directly connected to the extractor, as I've mentioned a couple of times, and I've seen a few of the woodworkers do the same thing with units of about this size. So, yeah. And I agree with what they did by making everything into a rack or a unit, and they lifted the container part up, maybe 20, 30 millimeters, and therefore when they unclipped it, it could drop down and it can be wheeled out and then pushed back in. And I think one of the guys had a kind of like a treadle or a lift thing where it just would lift the drum up so it could be reclipped. Yeah, I wonder whether I can find that video, because that's now pertinent to what I want to do. Yeah, the old new workshop took a wee bit of a delay, a bit of a hit last night. Getting things organised so we can do that. Maybe have to wait another month or so, which is a bit annoying. Just trying to get the ducks in a row sort of thing. Something else that I'm dealing with. So, which is a bit of a bloody nuisance, because we would like to have more certainty so I can get this workshop sorted. Quite in some ways quite looking forward to it. Moving from here to the workshop would be nice. I wonder whether I try and make up a stand for that now, before I get to the new workshop, because it would probably pay to have a standalone, movable stand for that. I'll have to look. Might have to do a bit of the old searching on YouTube again to see what other people have done. Having it permanently mounted to a wall, like most sensible people do, I don't know whether I would benefit from it. Would be interesting. It's a bit of a task, though, to do that. Anyway, that can be on the back burner as well, but at least it's on the burner. Getting this assembled, wheels sorted for it, probably utilise the ones I've got. Yeah, that would be a good job. A lot of the stuff that's the panels that are making up that unit can then be either thrown out or repurposed. It'll have a hell of a lot of holes in it, so that's not so good. And it looks nice, but it's the edge, the edging that they've used. It's quite nice, but I think some of the shelves are a little bit whoop-de-doo. What can I use them for? Anyway, that's another. Well, put it this way, I won't know until I get the new workshop, which has been delayed. Oh well. If that's my only drama, I've got nothing really to worry about, have I? So, yeah. Rightio. Going back inside, watch another TV. I'm watching a TV series, and so I'm doing a bit of the old binge watching. So I'll go in there, do that, and I'll be out here tomorrow. Tomorrow being, what is today? Oh, tomorrow must be Sunday. Yeah, Sunday, and we'll see how we go. Righty-ho. I'll catch you on the next one. Okay, bye now.